This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Veteran Bobby Taylor wins his first Pro 500 main of the young season at Wheel to Wheel. Gary Beeson overtakes Jeffro Blaylock to capture his first Dirt Karts Seniors main. Braden Struder wins the Intermediates main. It's this night before Mother's Day. Cash Culp, the only racer returning atop the podium from the prior racing event, this time in Dirt Karts Junior main. Will Brown, who survived this harrowing crash opening night in White 84, makes his first main event checkered of 2018 in the Restrictor main. That makes it both survivors of this crash landing in the May 12th winner's circle. Bobby Taylor in his birth date numeraled 766, an excellent night at the track. He leads from start to finish in this heat race, going head-to-head, lap after lap, with Nate Robinson in White 54, winner of the two previous Pro 500 main events.
You were getting right back where you wanted to be in this last heat race. You still got a ways to go?
Still got a ways to go. Right now the track seems to be a one-lane racetrack. If you try to go high, it's really heavy. There's a lot of dirt up there, so you got to stay low, and there ain't much room to pass if you stay low.
In the 9-car Pro 500 main, an event remarkable in that no yellow flag interrupts the action from start to finish. Bobby Taylor's victory moves him into 4th in season points with 14-7 behind season points leader Nate Robinson. John Aiden, White 7, and John Alonso, White 99, duel to the finish for 2nd and 3rd. John Alonso, the racing chimney sweep, 2nd in season points with 18. John Aiden, the Iceman, 3rd in season points with 15, despite not racing Pro 500 the race prior. Retired John Wilburn staggers to this win in the Pro 500 heat race. By retired, I mean new tires are one secret to his success. Changing his stagger, another factor, as he describes the sticky track.
John, how's the track today?
It's sticky. It was good fun. I put a new set of tires on, cut to the new rule, and it seemed to work out really well. I changed my stagger a little bit, and I was happy. We'll see what happens in the main event.
Any other changes other than the tires? I mean,
No, it's just the tires, and try to let off on the exit of the corner, which is hard to do. Let off, you go faster, so that's about it.
John Wilburn is in his 2nd season racing at Wheel to Wheel. He races out of Upland. Trent Johnson's consistency, race after race, keeps him atop the leaderboard in restrictor class season points. The Apple Valley youngster, 21 points, 5 ahead of 3X Stevie Rogers, who gets up close and personal with restrictor rookie John Estes in this heat race. Restart not kind to John Estes in his orange 18X. He gets smacked by Randy Oshens, aptly nicknamed Crash Oshens. Intermediates make up the largest class of racers this season at Wheel to Wheel. 19 set to roll at night's outset. 13 qualify for the main. White 10 with blue lettering, Braden Struder, just turned 11-year-old from Murrieta. 2 is Sean Rogers, nicknamed Gorilla, also 11. Outside, row 2, blue 23, Jaden Manchester, red 29, Ricky Simpson, followed by Sky Farrell, Braden Miller-Bushy, Cash Culp, Logan Banfield, Riley Tippett, Mia Farrell, Ryan Shank, Stevie Simpson, Tyler Banfield. Braden Struder leads pole to pole to take the checkered 16 season points, 4 behind frontrunner Jaden Manchester, who finishes 3rd. Sean Rogers, 2nd. This flashes back to high school all-stars, seasons past. 4th. Racing returns June 2nd to Wheel Raceway. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting high desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. Waste not, want not? Converting biodegradable garbage into compost is tackled by Sitting Bull 7th grader Avalon Kissinger. Her project at the annual Apple Valley Unified School District Science and Engineering Fair.
My project was the biodegradable compost, which was a project on trying to find a way to reduce waste in our world, because it hurts me to see so many landfills and so many animals being affected by us kind of idiotic humans throwing away multiple pounds of trash every single day. And I learned that while many things are actually compostable, that you probably need a longer time, and because it's dirt, you need a different way of composting than in the Midwest, which I learned from my research.
You know, Kathy, what was the hardest part about the project? Was there one aspect of it that was the hardest?
Yes, because we live at such a high altitude in a high, arid area. Compost with the guidelines I had found for the Midwest, which I didn't realize at the time, was practically hard because how the ratio is different between on where you live and everything, because it's a different ratio between Iowa and California, which I've lived in both places, so.
117 entries from the Apple Valley Unified School District's elementary and secondary schools compete. This year's individual and group projects range in categories including microbiology and zoology, math and physics, electronics, earth science, and consumer science.
I made a soda dispenser.
What all's involved with it?
Well, how to basically make it, I'll tell you, is you get some foam or plexiglass, cut it measurements right, add some little 6-volt pumps, and tubing, a cup, a 2-liter, and there you go. That's how easy it is.
How long did it take you to develop the product?
Well, my foam one actually took me longer. It took me like a week or two because it kept snapping and breaking. Plexiglass took me 3 days. It was kind of hard because, plexiglass it's not an easy thing to break or anything, but once you take a grinder to it, you be very careful, else snap it, and that's a waste of plexiglass. So it was hard to do, but it was good. I learned that the pump pushes a lot of soda out, and I didn't think it was gonna work. Honestly, when I was doing this, I started soldering, and I thought it was a total failure. I didn't think none of this was gonna work. I think oh great, my science project is blue, but worked just fine, and I was actually surprised with it.
Very good. Good luck in the competition.
Thank you.
Nice job. High school students' projects deal with researching perceptions and preferences in terms of bias and discrimination.
My project focused on if students have a racial bias towards their teachers.
My project deals with different ethnicities wearing similar clothes and whether or not their clothes and their ethnicity will encourage discrimination or whether a singular will encourage discrimination.
My project involves psychological manipulation dealing with age, gender, and race.
Originally, I had hypothesized that students would prefer to have a white teacher versus an African American teacher just because they're more exposed to white teachers, so they might have a preference for them, they might trust them more. But
Does that go for African American students as well as white students, or they stay with their own race?
I hypothesized that all students would prefer the white teacher just because that's what they're more experienced to seeing. So, but my results contradicted that hypothesis, and 90% of the students I surveyed chose the African American teacher. Yes.
No, I learned that we discriminate a lot more than we would imagine we would, and that we may discriminate unconsciously without being cognitively aware of it.
I just noticed the lack of diversity that I've experienced during my education. I haven't really had that many minority status teachers. The majority of them have been white, and a couple Latino teachers, but I haven't really had experience with many others. So I just wanted to see if there was any biases that existed.
I learned that the female subjects I used were more resilient into agreeing with the general norm of what my controls were trying to convince them into, and that the older subjects were also generally more resilient, but the younger subjects were more susceptible to go with the norm.
Congratulations to all winners at the Apple Valley Unified School District 2018 Science Fair. Terry Kurtz here. You get a chance to see extended action highlights of local sporting events on the half-hour High Desert Sports Report, showing daily at 7, 11, and 4 right here on Victor Valley Television Network, VictorValleyTV.com. The most decisive of the last regular season games involving MRL and DSL teams is played in 103 degrees wind-blown conditions in Barstow. The Victor Valley Jackrabbits needing a victory and help from Granite Hills against Atlanta to take sole possession of second place in the Desert Sky League. Victor Valley rallies to top the Aztecs 3-2 in 8 innings. Abdil Mejia scores the winning run, scoring on a pitch to the backstop.
How good was it to hear that Granite Hills upset Atlanta?
Can I get a moment to think about this?
Granite Hills upsetting Adelanto give the Jackrabbits second place in the DSL. Eric Olivares closes it out in the bottom of the 8th to clinch the victory. The game is something of a mirror image of the Rabbits' come from behind victory over Barstow 2 days earlier. The Aztecs go ahead early, capitalizing on shoddy Victor Valley defense, and it's 2-0 Barstow after 2. Ramon Alcantar and Gavin Hendricks will lead Rabbits at the plate with 3 hits apiece this day. The teams are as even in the hits department as in scoring. Both teams collect 12 hits. Gavin Hendricks drives in Dylan Rivera with the first Victor Valley run. It comes in the 4th. 20 RBIs on the year for the junior outfielder, whose .364 batting average is 9th highest among DSL hitters. The Rabbits load the bases in the 6th. Abdil Mejia with the base hit to left, sending Aaron Feakin to second. The Jackrabbits have 6 of the top 10 hitters in the league. Abdil Mejia's 2 hits this day give him a .360 average, 10th best in the DSL. Mikey Prieto drives in Aaron Feakin with the score-tying run, the sac fly to right, producing Mikey Prieto's team-high 19th RBI on the season. The junior center fielder finishes DSL play with a league-leading .474 batting average. Barstow is poised to win it in the bottom of the 7th, loading the bases with 1 out. Aztec Jason McCall, batting 3rd in Coach Roland Fight's lineup, lifts the fly ball to center field. Daniel Espinoza tags and sprints to the plate with what would be the game-winning run, but Mikey Prieto's strike to the plate beats the runner. The 8-2 double play ends the inning, and we go to the 8th. This play mirroring the Rabbits' 8-2 double play in the first inning of their 5-4 win over the Aztecs 2 days earlier. On to the 8th. Jackrabbits speed on the base paths to become a game-deciding factor. Abdil Mejia aboard to lead it off. Gavin Hendricks' attempt to sacrifice Abdil Mejia into scoring position turns into a base hit, the fleet-footed junior beating first baseman to the bag. Ramon Alcantar's fly ball to right, deep enough to advance Abdil Mejia to 3rd, Gavin Hendricks to 2nd, the first out of the inning. Now 2 outs. The pitch skips past the catcher. A.B. Mejia sprints from 3rd and dives headfirst across the plate. The run that not only propels Victor Valley past the Aztecs this day, but also past Adelanto for 2nd place in the DSL. But this one still requires Eric Olivares to deny Barstow an 8th inning rally of their own, and he faces the heart of the Aztecs batting order. Eric Olivares gets the checked swing comebacker off the bat of Dino Ebel nephew, Peyton Ebel, to end the game. 3rd win of the year and 2nd against a DSL foe for the 5'11", 210-pound Jackrabbit Jr. Victor Valley enters the CIF Division 4 playoffs ranked 43rd, 2 slots behind Serrano. Oak Hills ranks 8th in CIF Division 4. Apple Valley ranks 12th. CIF is prone to pairing neighboring teams in round 1. We could very well see the Jackrabbits matched up against Apple Valley, Oak Hills, or Serrano to open the postseason. Mikey Prieto doubles home the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th in Victor Valley's 5-3 win over Apple Valley in the opening round of the CIF playoffs.
It feels good, you know, they're a big rival for our school, and to beat them is a big thing to me. And to come back like that in the last inning.
Brett Bowers blows the game open with his 2-run home run to provide the visiting Jackrabbits with the eventual margin of victory. High Desert Sports Training's online sports report. High Desert Sports Training, the area's only facility offering state-of-the-art equipment and proven training concepts. High Desert Sports Training. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. We flash back to the opening game of High Desert Mavericks Baseball 2016, the last season of High Desert Mavericks Baseball. High Desert Mavericks leadoff hitter Travis Demerit hits 2 towering home runs to power the Mavericks to a season-opening victory over the Inland Empire 66ers. The Mavs' second baseman accounts for 7 of the team's 10 runs scored, driving in 4 and scoring 3.
It's just driving the pitch that I saw, man. I got a couple good pitches to hit, and I made the most out of it.
The opening night highlights for many a Mavericks fan: free tacos. Whenever the Mavericks score 9 runs or more, every fan in attendance receives a coupon for 2 free tacos from Jack in the Box. The Mavericks get solid pitching and error-free defense to go with a power-packed offensive attack in defeating the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim affiliate 66ers in the 2016 season opener. Clouds hung over the Mavs' first game of the season. Legal uncertainties regarding the city of Atalanta's attempt to evict the team from Maverick Stadium. And storm clouds, literally. Light sprinkles fell just prior to the ball game. Yohander Mendez' first Mavericks pitch of the season comes under overcast skies and 62 degrees in Atalanta. The 21-year-old out of Venezuela was brilliant. The first inning, starting the first 2 hitters with strikes, striking out the 66ers 2 and 3 hitters to set the visitors up and down in order. Yohander Mendez will strike out 7 in his 3 innings of work. The Mavericks waste no time getting to Inland Empire starter Jake Jewell. Leadoff hitter Travis Demerit beats out the infield single. 2-hole hitter Josh Morgan singles up the middle, sending Travis Demerit to second. 2 on, nobody out. The Mavericks' cleanup hitter will come up with 1 down and drive in the first High Desert run of the season. 6-6, Jairo Biras drives the pitch off the wall and right. Travis Demerit scores from second. The Mavericks take a lead they will not relinquish. Jairo Biras is 21. He was born on Christmas Day in the Dominican Republic. He drove in 43 runs in 88 games at Hickory last season. The Mavericks score 2 more when Luke Tindler's sharply hit ball is misplayed, a throwing error. Josh Morgan scores, followed by Jairo Biras. Designated hitter Jeremy Profar reaches out and pulls the two-strike pitch into left, sending Luke Tendler home from second for High Desert's fourth run of the first inning. First of 2 hits on the night for the 20-year-old Jeremy Profar. Inland Empire gets 3 runs back in the top of the second on Zach Hutchins' home run over the right field wall. The Maverick lead is cut to 1-4-3. Travis Demerit leads off the bottom of the second and drives this two-strike pitch over the Napa Auto Parts sign in left field. The solo home run makes it 5-3 High Desert. Travis Demerit's second home run comes on this 3-2 pitch with 2 out in the 6th. The 2-run shot makes it 8-4. The 21-year-old Demerit hit 5 home runs all last season at Hickory and 25 in 2014 with the Lower A Crawdads. The Mavericks had scored their 6th run in the 3rd on Scott Heinemann's base hit. Luke Tendler scores. Scott Heinemann goes 3 for 3 in his Mavericks debut. The fan favorite hitter of the moment, though, is Trip Martin. His base hit through the middle sends Jeremy Profar across with the coveted 9th Mavericks run. That means every fan in attendance receives a Jack-in-the-Box coupon for free tacos.
Way to get the season started on such a high note. Is this the type of offense we think the Hojo team's going to present?
Yes, it is. You know, we got a good ball club, and we're an aggressive team, and we know what we can do, and our goal is to put pressure on the other team and make them make plays.
Season 2 of High Desert Yardbirds baseball is upon us. The home opener for the defending Pecos League champions, Sunday, May 27th against Bakersfield. We flash back to the first games in Yardbirds franchise history. The High Desert Yardbirds opened their inaugural season on the road and certainly come out swinging and scoring runs. The Yardbirds score 43 runs in their first 4 games, opening with a 12-10 triumph. After a 10-5 Game 2 setback, the Yardbirds rebound with a 13-4 victory, then close out the 4-game set at California City with another 13-4 win. Local fans get their first look at the Yardbirds in a game situation in this exhibition encounter against the Monterey Amberjacks. Yardbirds 2-hole hitter Nick Stoll, who goes on to hit safely in each of High Desert's opening series games at California City, driving in Shane Sharkey. Nick Stoll then is silhouetted in bright sunlight with the Coors Light outfield sign as the backdrop. Nick Stoll turned 23 April 2nd. The 6'2", 185-pound shortstop played collegiately at Fresno Pacific University and then York College in Nebraska, where he hit .392 last year. Kellen Marufo singles Tony Hawkins to second. Kellen Marufo, the 23-year-old first baseman, is out of Tucson. The former Sabino High School standout was named 2015 Most Valuable Player on the Okotoks Dogs team of the Canadian League. Massive Luis Vargas muscles the base hit into center field, loading the bases. Tony Hawks at third, Kellen Marufo at second. Loris Vargas was signed at age 16 by the Seattle Mariners out of the Dominican Republic. Kellen Marufo and Loris Vargas come on to score when the high chopper off the bat of Dylan Clift is misplayed. This action from the High Desert Yardbirds' first official game in franchise history, an exhibition game though it is. This is the first Yardbirds game at Adelanto Stadium. The opponent, the Monterey Amberjacks. Dylan Kessner drives in a run with the base hit through the right side. Dylan Kessner, the Yardbirds' leadoff hitter and center fielder, had 2 hits and 2 runs driven in the season opening win at California City. Dylan Kessner just turned 23 last month. He is out of Davenport, Iowa. Shane Brown is the seasoned veteran on the Yardbirds. Shane Brown drives in a pair of Yardbirds runs here. Shane Sharkey, 10. Then Dylan Kessner. Shane Brown, the elder statesman among High Desert Yardbirds position players, the Orlando, Florida native, was drafted by the New York Yankees in the 23rd round in 2010. Shane Brown hit .321 in single A, then played 2 seasons of double A ball in the Yankees organization. Shane Brown begins the Yardbirds season hitting in the 3-hole and playing right field. Lourdes Vargas skips the base hit through the right side of the infield, driving Kellen Marufo home from second. Don't look for great power numbers from the 20-year-old Lourdes Vargas. He is a line drive gap hitter. Lourdes Vargas is 6'3", 225. One essential key to success for any baseball team at any level is sound defense up the middle. And I'll level with you. The Yardbirds have an outstanding double play combination. Second baseman Shane Sharkey and shortstop Nick Stoll. This double play, Stoll to Sharkey to first baseman Kellen Marufo. Nick Stoll is out of Fresno, Shane Sharkey from McKinney, Texas. The historic first official Pecos League game at Adelanto Stadium is June 6th, our High Desert Yardbirds home opener against the Monterey Amberjacks. Towering pitcher Josiah Ward chalks up a milestone in High Desert Yardbirds history. The Pecos League rookie out of Memphis, Tennessee goes down as the first winning pitcher in Yardbirds franchise history, the winner in the team's 12-10 opener at California City. The 6'7" Josiah Ward struck out 7 in his Yardbirds debut. Josiah Ward pitched collegiately at Division I University of Memphis. His hometown is Atoka, Tennessee. Cesar Godinez is one of 2 local players on the High Desert Yardbirds roster. Cesar Godinez is starting pitcher number 2 in pitching coach Chance Sharp's rotation. Cesar Godinez, who turns 21 June 15th, pitched in high school at Sultana. Godinez went on to play at Victor Valley College, where he was a .381 hitting shortstop. The other Victor Valley ball player on the Yardbirds roster is Richard Lucatero, who was a 2011 Desert Sky League All-League catcher from Silverado High School. This is Greg Turner, the Yardbirds winning pitcher in the Game 3 victory at California City. The just-turned 24-year-old is out of Moreno Valley. Greg Turner, who won 13 games over 2 seasons at Tabor College in Hillsboro, Kansas. Before that, he pitched at College of the Desert.
Number 11, designated hitter, Haitian Guerrero.
Jalen Bird whips it in, sidearm. The 21-year-old Jalen Bird is out of Shelby, North Carolina. He pitched this season for the Limestone College Saints, where the 6'4", 145-pound southpaw sidearm relief pitcher established a .406 ERA over a 3-year career. That's the home opener for the defending Pecos League champions, Sunday, May 27th against Bakersfield. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Ewan Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. High Desert Sports Training, High Desert's only high-performance TreadX 3030 treadmill and hip machine. Call to schedule a free evaluation. High Desert Sports Training. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, showing daily on the Victor Valley Television Network, VictorValleyTV.com.